What do authenticity, zero-click content, and retention have in common? These are some of the trends for social media in 2023 that you should know about. Hello Rebel, and welcome to Alt Marketing School. My name is Fab and I'm the head teacher and founder at Alt Marketing School, a modern school teaching you how to market to hearts, not to brains. Yes, indeed, we love teaching our students the power of positive impact marketing. Marketing that is purpose-led, that is value-driven, and that is human and accessible for all. As a school, we love to look at what's coming up, so we had a little bit of a gander around some of the trends and the exciting things that might be coming in the social media landscape in 2023 and beyond. So I have a little bit of a treat for you with 3 of the top trends that we discussed at the end of 2022 that you should look out for the next year. Let's get started. At the end of 2022, we hosted 2 incredible panels in partnership with amazing brands to discuss what we can see happening in the space of growth marketing and social media. And interestingly enough, some of my favorite trends revolve all around the power of relationships, which is huge for us as a school, also content and the way that we consume content. So I thought, just for fun and kicks, to bring back some of these lessons and takeaways and share them with you straight from the horse's mouth. We are going to start with our event with the amazing people at Thrive Teams. And here we talked about growth marketing. And Matt from Thrive Teams shared the power of authenticity over production value when it comes to content. Something that might seem counterproductive, but the way that he puts it really shows us the power of user-generated content and how we are consuming it in order to build trust and relationships. So let's hear it from himself and see what he talked about in our event.
Authenticity is much more important than production value. So something that's just looks what used to be super pro and when professional would convey a lot of trustworthiness and respect for a brand. Now we're seeing more kind of just cell phone user-generated content gives that authentic feel. So I guess my first example in this this sort of trend is around user-generated content. So we had done testimonials in the past where some of our really strong customers and users who built some really big businesses had content studios, and they did us a super solid and made some really nice testimonial videos for us. But what we're finding now going into 2023 is that our fans and power users and people who have made really successful online businesses with our tools, if we just ask them, hey, can you shoot a cell phone video or use Loom and your webinar camera to make a quick testimonial video, those are actually becoming much more engaging and successful, especially in say Facebook paid ad campaigns, than the old highly produced videos. So for us, this user-generated content or user-generated style content, for us, that focus right now is kind of customer testimonials, but it could also mean the videos you create. So if you take a lot of time, it's taking a lot of time to produce content, to make videos, and you're putting a lot of effort into it. One thing to really experiment with is, what about just shooting a kind of a cell phone video that's kind of talking about whatever it is you're talking about from the heart and from a really authentic place. Test that and see if it does get you more engagement, because we're kind of seeing it does. And then the benefit to that is that it's quicker to create that content, quicker to ship, and you get that boost in authenticity and trust from your followers. So it's definitely something to test going into 2023. Another example or another piece of this, I guess on my next slide, is we're seeing a move more towards live events like this one, I guess case in point, and more low tech sort of webinar events. So, people were spending a lot of time building these pre-recorded webinars, but most people are kind of understand that a big fancy recorded webinar ends in a sales pitch. and it's not coming across as authentic. It's that professionalism is kind of having the opposite effect now. So one example of somebody who's kind of selling a big ticket item on a very low tech Zoom call is Aaron Kroll, who's a SaaS business consultant, helps SaaS companies grow. And I think maybe this started for him in the COVID pandemic when Zoom was exploding and everybody's locked down. He just started dropping these Zoom webinar events on his Twitter feed and on his Facebook group. And people would attend those, and then he would pitch a $3,000 product at the end of the Zoom call that people would buy, or these companies would buy. And the sales pitch was as simple as just showing the info they were going to get inside the files in his Google Drive. So it was super low tech. He just provides the Stripe link to pay. And it really goes back to almost this bootstrap, just what we call in our company a just ship it mentality. And again, the benefit is you're coming across as more authentic. People are engaging with that, but it's less tech to set up. It's less things to pay for. That's great if you are bootstrapping your business. And it seems to be growing in its effectiveness.
As we wade into the murky waters of social media, I put my prediction hat on. Imagine whichever hat you want for the prediction hat. It can be a fortune teller one. I'll let you pick. And one of the things that I've seen coming up again and again over the past year is the importance of interrelationship between themes. So whether you are working on everything yourself or whether you're working with other people, actually wearing different hats is more important than ever. And collaborating when it comes to different stages of the customer journey is crucial. In fact, one of my predictions for social media in 2023 is all about the power of retention in social media. So let's see some of the examples that are brought to the table in our event. Social has become more and more not just a place for acquisition, but also a place for retention. So when you look at the way that we interact on social media, it's not just about, for people that maybe are not as familiar when it comes to some of the elements of marketing, it's not just about brand awareness, bringing new people in. It's also about how now we're interacting with our existing customers and users on social to help us amplify our voice. And this is becoming only bigger and bigger. Even Meta, aka Facebook for everybody who might have forgotten the change of name that constantly happens. What was interesting is that this past year, they said the most engagement across Facebook and Instagram happens on DMs, so direct messages, yeah? So what the apps for both Facebook and Instagram are geared more and more towards inclusive communities and one-to-one or small group conversations, yeah? Don't just think about social as a place to gather new people, get obviously new eyes is always great, but also we're looking at how brands are using social media to actually reconnect and strengthen their relationship with their current customers and users. One of my faves is Notion. Let me know in the chat if you know of Notion. We actually have some Notion templates just throwing out there from our shop. I'm a big fan of Notion. We created some dashboards for marketers and consultants and even agencies. Notion is a platform that allows you to create pretty much anything like pages, websites. We got some Notion love. Oh, that's me, Runa. Freddie also uses Notion. Excellent. So is actually great. Again, Ashley, I'm just going to say, so if you want to check it out, you can even start with our templates. Sorry for the other little throw in there. You can check it out, obviously, on our website. But Notion basically allows you to create pages, databases, spreadsheets, like pages. And what they do, which I love, so this is not just like a Notion kind of fangirling, is that on Twitter, this is a great example of Twitter, and it shows a 3-step process. I know it's a bit small, so let me help you out. In the first tweet, a Notion user shared, obviously they mentioned Notion and they shared what feature they would like to see next. You know, they almost like an improvement. It's like, oh, we would really love to be able to see a different way to set up, what was this one? Oh, auto-expiring pages, which actually has happened. So we would love to see auto-expiring sharing link, okay? And so Notion was like, excellent. So what they do, the process that the social media manager shared actually in an article, they look at these mentions and they save them. And then this is where social becomes customer relationship and customer service. They kept a log of all the recommendations that happen on social. And what they did, once they actually created the update and added the new feature, not only they shared it online, but also they personally tagged the person that had made the suggestion and they said, thank you very much for the suggestion. Obviously, as you know, we took that to heart, we took it in mind, and now it's actually here. It sounds really small, but making the customer part of the process, listening to their feedback, and actually creating just something for them has been such a powerful way to build a community, especially of users, instead of just doing social listening, in my opinion, a bit the wrong way. Last but not least, during our social media trends event, we were joined by the incredible Miruna from PLANABLE. And it was so exciting to hear from her everything that we need to know about zero-click content. Something that you might have seen online quite a lot, but maybe you're not super familiar with. And let me tell you this is going to be really important for you to look out for in social media in 2023, because it's something that is really shaping up the way that we consume and also create content now and in the year to come.
Zero-click content, I think, first of all, I would definitely say I do not think this is for real a whole new thing. It's been here for a while now. It's just the terminology of it and how much we talk about it took a whole new level, I think, in the past half a year or so. I think in the last 3 conferences that I attended, if the entire conference was not focused at it on this, there were at least a couple of talks solely about zero-click content. So what I'd like to say here, for those, just in case there's someone listening to this that is not sure what zero-click content is, you can define it as content shared on social media where clicking isn't mandatory, where your audience gets value just by seeing that post, just by reading or viewing or playing the post that you put there. They do not need to click to get a value. You can include that CTA, but it's not mandatory. To put this even, in a lighter form, I think, let's say you have a piece of content, an article that you're sharing out there. Let's say this article is about what colors to decorate your Christmas tree in. So this is a how-to type of article. If you shared that article on social with the link and with a copy like getting ready to decorate your Christmas tree, here's some inspiration into how to pick your colors, and then the link, you just shared the article. You did not produce any value for the person who doesn't click. At this point, all they know is that you wrote something about how to choose those colors. However, that's not zero-click content. What is if you give a piece of that article into your post, a piece of that information that is valuable for them. Let's say a chapter of the article is factors to take into account when choosing your Christmas decorations colors, and that can be I don't know, the style of your home, the furniture colors, blah blah blah, all these types of factors. You can share that entire chapter, maybe sum it up a bit, maybe not, leaving just the factor and 1-2 sentences about it, and put it all on social. That is thanks. That gives the audience zero-click content. They get the value, and they can click on to learn more in the article, to deep dive into the topic, but they already feel somewhat satisfied with what they've learned so far. These are some examples that I've chosen. The first one on the left, these are 3 different formats just to emphasize that zero-click content can really take any shape or form. It doesn't have to be a particular type. The first one is a Twitter thread. I do not think that Twitter will die tomorrow, so it's still a thing for a while. Twitter threads were all the rage this year. It's a form of zero-click content. This particular example, David Morris wanted to share top 10 secrets that he believes will help you sell better. So what he did is that he split those 10 secrets into 10 replies into his Twitter thread with a bit of information on each. This is a very good example of zero-click content. The second example is on LinkedIn, just a LinkedIn post with an image. It's a conversation starter on if you have a software product to sell, how should you showcase it in a very minimal form or a screenshot that tells the whole story. So in this post, he shares his opinion on the topic. He shares an experience, a conversation, an insight that he found after a particular research, and a screenshot to give people a bit of context into what the conversation is about. And that's it. Another great example of zero-click content. And the last one is a carousel post of ideas for content in December.
I hope you enjoyed these extracts, and obviously if you are a member of our student community, you can watch the full replays anytime, because that's exactly where the replays live, in our student community. If not, I still would love to hear from you what is the one trend or the one shift in social media that you're seeing from 2023, but just letting us know. As always, we would love to hear your thoughts, and we will be back with some more wisdom and classes and lessons from incredible experts in the marketing and the online world. In the meantime though, see you again next time. Class dismissed.